From the Crush Studio in sunny Florida, this is the Disney Crush Podcast. And now your two tempests in a teacup, Dave and Tony Ann.
On this week's The Disney Crush Podcast, I went back to Disney and I went back to Saratoga Springs. It was Mother's Day 2024. We used Standby Skipper. I'm going to tell you all about it and how I stayed on my program while I was there. Episode 342 of the Disney Crush Podcast, starting right now. Wait a minute. Who are you? You don't sound like Andy.
No, I do. I sound nothing like Andy. But can I just say thank you, Andy? I want to thank our new co-host. Disney Crush has a new co-host, Andy Hoffman. Thank you, and I'm sure he'll be filling in again soon, along with our other co-host, Kevin Curtis Allen. So now we're like the Monorail Tales podcast. We have just now we're nowhere near them. I mean, they have what 999
27,
hosts?
something like that.
We have 2 so far, but we're looking for more. So maybe if you want to be on the podcast, just get a hold of Tony Ann or myself, and we'll see if we can get you on as a host.
I like doing the show with you, Dave. We're a team, Dave.
Like a yin and a yang.
And I think there's a lady in Wisconsin who would complain if you weren't on the show.
She might. I don't blame her. I'd complain too if I wasn't around. I get it. No, but really a big shout out. Thank you, Andy. You're amazing. Thank you. And you did a great job. And you know what? The whole podcast was really good. The whole show was great. I really enjoyed editing it, and it was very interesting. So thanks, Andy, again.
How you been? We haven't seen each other in a while.
Yeah, I've been doing good. Haven't been to Disney in a while. So, and the heat is up. The heat is on, as they say. Who sings that?
The heat.
The
That was the heat is on. Is that Kenny Lott? Who? Yeah. No, it's one of the Eagles. It's like Glenn Fry. It was Glenn Fry.
Yeah. See, I was close. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the heat is on, and we might make some day trips over there, but I don't know. We'll see. No, we got Tiana's.
Yeah. Well, speaking of day trips
coming up.
So Tiana's Bayou Adventures open in June 28th. So it'll be old news by the time this podcast comes out. But yeah, it's opening June 28th. And there are preview days for pass holders, for DVC, and for D23. And I'm sure there's also cast member previews and media previews too. But it was very interesting the way they released the pass holder previews. They pretty much announced, we're going to have pass holder previews on these dates. And they gave a handful of dates. And you just have to try to get in the VQ on those days. So right away, everybody ran to make park reservations. There was only one weekend day that they're doing these pass holder previews. All of the other ones are weekdays. So the one weekend day is June 16th, which happens to be Father's Day. It's a Sunday. So sorry, Rich, me and Michael.
Sorry about your luck, Rich.
We did get reservations for that day.
Yeah. Send him pictures from the bayou.
Yeah, I'm sure he can. As he said to me, there was one Mother's Day. I was like, oh, what are we doing for Mother's Day? And he said, I don't know. You're not my mother. So now I'll use, he was joking, but this year I can use that line on him. Like, I'm going to Disney. You're not my father.
I use that all the time with Veronica. I'm like, you're not my mother.
Yeah. So anyway, so June 20th. But the thing is, like, people are upset that they didn't get in for the previews. First of all, you can hop. So you can get on the 1 p.m. virtual queue. And apparently you don't have to be in the park at 1 p.m. for this virtual queue, this pass holder. So you could still be at Hollywood at 1 o'clock and say, well, let me see if I get in. And if you don't get in, you don't have to hop. So that's interesting.
But here's the thing too, Tony Ann, is that that's not a brand new ride. The thing about that ride is it's been reimagined, but it's the same ride basically.
Exactly.
And guess what? It's not going anywhere. So if you don't get in a preview, you're going to be able to do it at some point.
Exactly. And very interestingly, Disney announced that they are going to have a virtual queue for this ride when it does open, but it's going to be a regular Genie attraction. It's not going to be individual Lightning Lane. So that tells me that with all the years of history with this ride with Splash Mountain, they know how that line works. And for some reason, they feel that Seven Dwarfs Mine Train's line still warrants keeping the individual lightning lane. Maybe there's something fundamentally wrong with the way that the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, the queue, the lightning lane queue works. Maybe it's not long enough to handle a lot of people. I don't know, but they are not going to make Tiana's Bayou Adventure individual lightning lane. They are going to make it a regular Genie Plus attraction. So there will be VQ, which are standby people, and Genie Plus. And who knows if they might not keep it VQ very long, because it's basically the same queue as Splash, and they know how that queue works. And so, yeah. We almost thought we weren't even going to get pass holder previews for the same reason, because usually the purpose of these previews is to work the kinks out with how the queue's going to work and the ride's going to work. And basically both of those things are the same. There were no pass holder previews for Frozen Ever After when they redid Maelstrom for the same, and that one maybe they should have had, because that standby queue is a nightmare. It really is. But anyway.
I know you love the, Splash and it's
and I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this new ride.
Me too. Something new, something fresh, something.
Yeah.
It looks like what I've seen so far looks amazing. So we'll see, but I don't think it's going to be, I think it's going to be it's going to be better. Let's just say it. It's going to be better.
All right. You said it. Also, while we were away, they did announce the dates for the Halloween party, but that's old news now. Well, Dave, I have, Facebook was very generous with the love in the last 2 weeks. There was one particular night, May 5th, these are the times, 9:42 and 10:05, May 5th. Two different missed connections.
This is Missed Connections. Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is allowed, or even if you're a pass holder, but I've been bit by the misconnection bug, and I figured I'd give this a shot. While at Typhoon Lagoon today at around 1 p.m., my mom and I noticed a really cute late 20s, early 30s in the wave pool. He had dark hair and a nice cut, well-maintained facial hair, dark American Eagle swim shorts, average build, no wedding ring. He was there with a couple of friends around the same age. One was a large redhead rocking a bodacious beard. The other was a very tan father with a young son who was his mini. My mom commented to the son that he was a great swimmer, and the son proudly said he learned in the ocean because the friend with the beard tossed him in when he was 5. And he had to outswim 2 sharks and a barracuda. This may have been a tall tale for the ladies' benefit. It seemed like the 3 buddies had known each other a long time. My mom is a seasoned people watcher and tagged the cute guy as law enforcement or possibly former military. Possibly all 3 friends. At one point, the cute guy and I slammed together during one of the big waves. Mom joked that I should have made my move, but all I can manage was an, "Oh God, I'm sorry." Eventually, they left the wave pool, and I noticed cute guy was maybe an inch or 2 taller than the bearded friend. Yeah, so then she shared pictures of her from the day so they would recognize her if they saw her. All right, Dave. There was another one on May 5th. So I never do this, but I had to post. My daughter and I went to Animal Kingdom today. Being a single dad, the annual pass helps me bond with her, and we always have something to do no matter what's happening. today we were in the Navi River Journey line, and I met this really cool annual pass holder from New Jersey. No matter if I thought she was cute and super nice, I mainly thought that she was super cool. I'm very shy and didn't try to gather information so we could maybe meet up at the parks again another day. Can we try to find her? She's blonde with light eyes. She was wearing a bucket hat. I mentioned bucket hats to my daughter, and she turned around to explain that what she was wearing was what I was talking about. She helped me convince my daughter the ride would be great to go on, not an easy feat. And then he shared a photo of himself and his daughter, hoping that bucket hat lady from New Jersey would recognize them. So
Yeah, those bucket hats will get you in trouble.
Yep. I actually have one more, but I don't know if this one. Yeah, no, there isn't. I have one more, Dave.
Go for
This
it.
one is from this week. It's from Tuesday, and we're crossing. This is a gray line, Dave, because this is a universal misconnection.
Ooh.
Is it allowed? Are you going to allow it?
You know what? I say go for it.
All right. Misconnection. Hogsmeade Station of the Hogwarts Express. Around 6:05 tonight, I ran into you while waiting to ride Hogwarts Express. I complimented you on your Mardi Gras lanyard, and you complimented my Universe and You pin from the Theme Park Preservation Society. I also noticed you were an annual pass holder just like me. You were wearing a yellow t-shirt and shorts and black Vans sneakers, and I was wearing red and blue plaid button-up, khaki shorts, and red Converse high tops. I was too shy to let you know, but I think you're pretty cute, and I may want to get to know you better. I just hope that you're out there somewhere.
Oh, indeed. Definitely out there somewhere. Just not with you.
Dave, it was a week for misconnections.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, it did but we get these dry spells where there's no misconnections, and then Facebook
And you just get bombarded
giveth.
with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Something's in the
So,
air. Yeah. Something's in the air.
Absolutely.
Love is in the air.
I actually lied. I do have some news.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's not going to affect everyone, but the All-Star Movie food court, the food court at All-Star Movies will be closed for refurbishment from July 1st to July 31st. The world premiere food court at Disney's All-Star Movies will undergo a refurbishment. During this time, guests may use Disney's My Disney Experience app to mobile order food. And then I guess they're going to have a spot like outside of the food court, or I don't know, where you could pick up your order. So there's going to be a QR code to, when you arrive, if you don't already have the app or whatever. Anyway, it's going to be refurbished, and you're going to have to use mobile ordering if you're staying there, or you could walk over to music or sports. It's not that big a walk. I have one Facebook, Dave. I have another little piece. Yeah. BOMA now has a mimosa flight. Actually, they're calling it a Bamosa flight.
Oh, how dare they?
Yeah. So it's going to have 4 different flavors featuring 3 of our Graham Beck sparkling wines from South Africa. There's going to be a jungle mimosa, which I think is just pog juice, a raspberry mint, a spicy pineapple, and a strawberry honey. I don't know how much it costs because I can't find the price online.
Well,
So.
They named them all good because those are all interesting names.
But I have to remind you, for $22, you can go to Ravello 7 days a week and get bottomless mimosas. And I had way more than 4 for $22. And you can mix and match your juices. There are 6 or 7 different juices to choose from. If it's more than $23, which I'm sure it is, it's not as good a deal as Ravello. And I really enjoyed Ravello. And if you want a buffet, Ravello's buffet during non-character meat is $40, which I think is about the same price as BOMA.
Did anybody try to take one to go?
Oh, you say to your server, I'd like a coffee cup with a lid, and I'd also like another mimosa.
There you go.
And he just kind of winks and takes care of it. He knows exactly what you're doing.
Wink, 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 wink. The Disney
Yes,
Crush podcast brings you this information.
Yeah, that he's kind of the one who suggested it the first time I went with Sam. And then the last time we went with the big group, we asked for the coffee cups and he's like, would you all like another round before you go? And we were like, yes, we would. So yeah. Mm-hmm. And I took it on the fancy bus, and there's even a cup holder on the fancy bus.
Thank you for asking, because I'd love a cup of coffee. Thank you very much. Just forget the coffee. Just bring me the coffee cup.
I want a coffee cup with a lid and another mimosa, please.
And another round, please. Thank you very much. And we'll be on our way. Yes, we'll be on our way.
Exactly. So yeah, no, he knew exactly what we were doing. Yeah. So are you going to do your intro? Because I do have one. I do have one Facebook.
I do not want to disappoint Miss Deirdre.
Well, I have one Facebook, and it's good. It's not it's good.
On this week's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Facebook. Bing.
Dave, is there a Disney employee I can hire to watch my kiddos at the pool while my husband and I have some time together in our room?
You did not. This
is a real, it's on the Caribbean beach. It's on the Caribbean Beach Resort group. The woman wants to hire a cast member to stay at the pool with her kids so her and her husband could have hanky-panky in the room.
Hanky-panky. Okay.
Which Kevin says is not allowed to happen. This is why I always, when you go on trips with your children, you need to get a suite. You need to get a suite with a door so you can have privacy. That's, it is, it's a reason to get DVC. I just got back from Saratoga. There was a door between me and my mom, which was lovely.
Okay, that's your mom. Listen, I save yourself some money. Don't get DVC. Just don't bring the kids. How's that?
Just don't bring the kids. That's the other. Yeah, that's the other solution, right?
That is a great solution right there. Mm-hmm. Kids, you're on your own till you can afford your own annual passes. Now go away.
So no, you cannot hire a cast member to watch your kids so you and your husband can go off and do your thing.
Well, if there's a market out there for that, maybe I should start my own little business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Uncle Dave's sitting service.
Sinning? Is it sinning service? So you could sin?
Yeah, sinning service.
Yeah. Oh, David. I think that was all the Facebook I had. There's a lot of love in the air. I also want to say hello to New Hampshire OB nurse. Dave and I just recently, if you're out there, hopefully you're out there. Dave and I just recently saw kind of a comment you made endorsing us, and we just saw it. If you're still out there, we like you, New Hampshire OB nurse.
What are you talking about?
The comment you sent me the other day.
Is that the one with the guy that said that we were a bust? A Disney Crush is a bust? He didn't like us?
Yeah.
Oh.
And New Hampshire OB nurse.
Oh, okay.
OB nurse, New Hampshire. It's OB nurse NH. I'm assuming she means New Hampshire.
OB nurse, New Hampshire. Oh, okay. It all started by, he asked a question, what's a good podcast I can listen to? Or whatever, a Disney podcast I can listen to. And she mentioned us in there. Mm-hmm. So I guess he listened to a few, and he said, the Disney Crush was a bust for me. Not sure if I will give it a second chance, but I didn't delete it yet. Now on to the Disney Dish. Excited for this one.
Right.
And she proceeded to go on and kind of
boost us up.
She defended
talk about
us
why she likes us.
Right. Yeah. She defended us and said, no, you should listen to them. They're great. And I listened to, they do 5-on-5, and I love the 5-on-5s. They do the good, the bad, and ugly of Facebook. And they have Michael come on, let him say what he needs to say, which I think is great. And And he goes, well, I did listen to the 5 on 5, and I
They
basically
said it was a train wreck, or it went off the rails.
They went off the rails a little bit, and so I'm not too sure about it. Well, I don't know. Like, going off the rails is that bad? I mean, going off the rails is actually pretty cool, I thought. Anyway,
I don't know.
So I guess my point is, what is my point? I don't know if I have a point.
That we should never do another 5 on 5. No, I think we need to do more 5 on 5s, but
I think so too. It drives me crazy, but other than that,
right, the editing drives Dave crazy.
Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know what I'm saying. I just,
you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, though.
Exactly. And there's a lot of people that love, what's her name? Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
They're Swifties. They call themselves Swifties, right?
Yes.
And then there's some people that can't stand her, and they're like, oh my gosh, she's terrible. Some people love Joe Rogan, and some people hate Joe Rogan. Some people love Howard Stern, and some people hate Howard Stern.
Right.
It just doesn't matter. I don't get it. I just don't understand. People they get too caught up in all this stuff, right? I just think that people, and I'm going to be honest with you. When we first started podcasting,
right,
I was all about, do people going to like us? And I'd look at the reviews, and a review would come in. It was a positive review, and I'm like, oh, it felt so good. I haven't looked at any reviews in probably 2 or 3 years, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
I just don't look there. I don't haven't been to iTunes. I don't look at reviews. I just don't. Maybe I should, but I don't. I don't know. I guess it's social proof for the hosts of the podcast that they're doing a good job. But other than that, I'm not saying. Hey, if you want to write a review, I'd love it. Go ahead, please.
I just enjoy talking about my favorite subject. I like talking about my favorite subject with some of my favorite people. So when we have guests on, and then there's you and me. I mean, this is the highlight of my week. Spending an hour with you, David.
Oh, it's you and me.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway,
don't tell Rich that.
I don't mean it like that, you creepo.
No, but anyway, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't care. I don't want to say I don't care. I don't know.
But thank you to the OB nurse from New Hampshire.
Yes, thank you for
That's all I wanted to say.
Exactly. And I went on down a rabbit hole. I feel like I'm PW right now.
PB Herman?
No,
PW Herman?
No.
PW Herman.
No, well, no, there's no H in the end of it.
Paging Mr. Herman, Mr. P.W. Herman. That's from the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay, well, I know, but I'm talking about somebody else. But
okay. Who's P.W.?
He went off the rails. The P.W.
Oh, yes, he went off there. Yes, we don't talk about P.W.
Yeah, but see, I like.
He's Jen Wynn's least favorite person on earth.
Okay,
we had a conversation about him just recently.
But was he before that all happened, or after?
Well, after.
Okay, right.
We had this conversation the other day.
Same with me too. But before it happened, PW was like, when he goes off the rails, that was my favorite part of the whole show.
People like that.
He's honest.
They liked his rants. I know.
I loved his rants, man. Go for it, dude. I love it.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But anyway.
Now he's like Voldemort. We can't.
Right. Exactly. Ugh. I'm like Jen Wynn now. I'm like, no.
No, he's awful. He's an awful person.
Bad.
So, all right, David.
Tony Ann.
I went to Disney.
You don't say.
Yes, again. So if you don't know, if you're new to the podcast, my mom is 90, and every year we go for Mother's Day. It's just she and I typically. Sometimes we go for her birthday as well. So lately she hasn't been able to do 2 trips a year, but the big one is typically Mother's Day. Just her and I. She's getting older. It's a lot taking her. My sister Mary called me. It surprised me, made me so happy. She said, I'm going to come. Mm-hmm. I'm going to come too. And we're going to go together, and we're going to, kind of so that we could both take her.
Your mother at 90 is not your typical 90-year-old. She gets around very well for her age.
She gets around very well for her age, but she's got bad knees, and she doesn't she doesn't want to be the little old lady in the wheelchair. So she
Okay.
should be, she
Okay.
should not be walking around theme parks. She should be on a scooter or in a wheelchair, but she refuses. I mean, I even tried at the end of a long day to get her to let me push her in a wheelchair from the exit of Hollywood Studios to our bus stop, and she wouldn't let me do it.
Oh,
She
she's
just,
stubborn.
yeah. So,
No. How long have you actually been doing this trip?
More than 10 years, maybe
Okay.
15, probably since my dad died, which was 2006. So
Hmm.
it's been a while.
So it's not just another
Maybe
excuse
2007 might have been when we
Oh.
started.
So it's
'Cause
not
he
just
died.
another excuse for you to go to Disney then, to use your mom as an excuse to get another
No,
trip to go to Disney.
no.
Yeah.
He died August 2006. So we probably started in 2007, Mother's Day,
Okay.
2007 is when we probably started. So so we go, and my mom, she's ridden, she rides Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. She rides Big Thunder Mountain. She does all that stuff. But in recent years, she's been slowing down a little bit. She's not getting on the roller coasters like she used to. So she is very particular about her food. She doesn't like weird foodie food. She likes Chinese food. She likes Italian food, and she likes just like plain food.
Mm-hmm.
So I've taken her to Tepanito, and that was too crazy for her. I took her to Marrakesh when it was open, the Moroccan restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
She told me never to take her there again.
Well, I like her. She's forward and tells
Never
tells
take
you
me
like,
there again.
Good.
Last Christmas we went to Beer Garden because that was Dominic's choice. Dominic was with us on that trip for Christmas, because sometimes I take her to see the Christmas decorations too. And she didn't like Beer Garden. She said, I don't think I like German food. But the thing is that there's a huge salad bar. There's a carving station. There's roasted chicken. So I don't know. I think she just had it in her head before we even walked in that she wasn't going to like it. But there's nothing, there, you could find things to eat at Beer Garden, even if you don't like German food. So whatever. She likes Chinese and Italian and plain food. She's got to have waffles.
Did she get her waffles and ice cream?
No, that's the funnel cake. She likes funnel cakes. No, she doesn't get ice cream.
Oh, she likes just the funnel cake part. Right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She didn't get a funnel cake this trip, but that's okay.
Oh, she didn't?
No.
Why? She always gets a funnel cake.
It just didn't time out right.
Oh,
we were.
Okay. Well, where did you guys stay?
We stayed at Saratoga Springs. We rented DVC points from a friend. We stayed in a 1-bedroom. It was perfect because the 1-bedroom had I don't know if it's a king or a queen in the main bedroom. And then it had the pull down couch, which is a Murphy bed. And then it had the pull down twin size bed under the TV. So we all got our own beds, and it has one bathroom with a walk-in shower, which was exactly what she needed because she can't step over the tub anymore. And then a little closet with a toilet. And then there's a separate part of the bathroom off of the main bedroom with a tub and a vanity and a closet. So there's 2 vanities. There's a vanity in the room with the shower, and there's a vanity in the room with the tub. And there's just a bunch of doors going between them. So it's like, it's one bathroom, one continuous bathroom, but there are doors that close so that like one person could be in the vanity and one person could be in the bathroom, one person could be in the shower. But it's, having 2 bathrooms would have been preferred, but this worked for us.
Good. So let me ask you a question. Did you have a travel advisor for this trip or?
No, because I rented DVC points.
But if you had a travel advisor, who would it be?
Mandy Malinowski, Minnie Mouse Mama, FTC Elite.
Interesting. Okay. Just checking.
She's my travel advisor.
Okay.
She actually had booked us a room at the Caribbean beach before my sister said she was coming, and we canceled it. And she's wonderful about that. She's,
oh, good.
No hate. When you cancel your trip, she rolls with it, and she's like, okay, no problem. But anyway, I digress, David. My sister got a 2-day ticket. My mother got a Florida resident 3-day ticket. So she actually has another day on her ticket that's good till the end of September. But
I like that they've extended it now that you get a little more time now.
So we didn't make ourselves crazy leaving the house too early on Saturday morning. My sister was landing at like 11:15. So we left the house around 9 and arrived at Saratoga. My sister was arriving too. Like we kind of like the timing was just really good. We pretty much arrived at Saratoga at the same time. And originally our room was not ready. So we just were parking the car at the Springs section of Saratoga Springs, which is very close to the carriage house, which is where the check-in is. So we were waiting at the bus stop, which is right across the way. And the bus is about 20 minutes. It wasn't coming for 20 minutes. This was like noon. So it was midday. So they weren't running the buses as often. And I get a text that our room is in fact ready. So we just decided, let's just go to our room, get settled. So we did that. And we didn't wind up actually getting to the park until 2:00. Because we waited for my sister's bags to get delivered to the room. And we just chit-chatted a little bit. So we didn't actually get to the park until 2:00. So what I failed to mention at the beginning of this was that our friend Danielle came on the podcast a few weeks ago and told us all about Stand by Skipper. And I decided I was going to try it. So the night before I bought my Genie, the Genie Plus for the three of us. And I went on Stand by Skipper and I told it, I want you to get me Slinky Dog for after noon. Cause I knew my sister, we weren't going to get to the park until a little bit later. So I didn't want a 9:00 return time. So I told it to get me a return time afternoon. It actually got me 11:55. At 7:00 the next morning, I got a message that I had a return time for Slinky Dog at 11:55. That was a little too early for my taste. So I canceled it. I went into my Disney Experience app and I canceled it. Went back on Stand by Skipper and I said, I want one in the afternoon. So it tried again and I went and took a shower. And by the time I came out of the shower, it had booked me one for 4:00, which was perfect. So that's an interesting thing to know about Stand by Skipper is if you don't get your desire, if the time is not desirable for you based on what your touring plan is, you just go into My Disney Experience, cancel it, and go back into Stand by Skipper and ask for it again. And it'll search again and it'll search again. And it's basically like when we used to have fast passes and we used to hit refresh. And we'd be like, oh, there's one for 7:00. Oh no, we're already going to leave the park before then. Keep going. Refresh. Oh, I got one for 2:00. That's better. We'll take that one. And only you don't have to do the refreshing. This computer is doing it for you in the background while you're enjoying your family. So it got me that Slinky Dog. I also did buy a Rise of the Resistance Lightning Lane for that afternoon. And as soon as it got me the Slinky Dog I wanted, I was like, cool, I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to tell you, I would like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway for 2:00. I said for afternoon. And it spit me back one at 2:30. Which was perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. But I didn't know how perfect it was at the time because I did this in the morning. I hadn't even left the house yet. And no, that's not true. This was after 11. I was driving when it got me Mickey and Minnie. So it got me Slinky Dog at 7. And then it got me Mickey and Minnie at 11, which was 2 hours after the park.
I thought opened. Slinky was at 4.
No, I mean, at 7 a.m. At 7 a.m., it got me Slinky for 4:00.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And then at 11 a.m., it got me Mickey and Minnie for 2:00, for 2:30. So I'm not even at Disney yet. I've got 2 fast passes for desirable rides and my Lightning Lane that I made myself for Rise. By the time we got to the hotel room and it was 1:00, I was able to also get Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Wow. So
we hit the park with 3 fast passes and a Lightning Lane for Rise. Mm-hmm. And once it got to be 3:00, I said, well, let's see if we can get Toy Story because then that'll be around the same time we're riding Slinky. The thing that you have to know about Stand by Skipper is for a ride like, let's say Living with the Land, a ride where there's always availability almost immediately. So it's 11:30 and you look for Living with the Land and it's going to spit you back 12 o'clock. It's going to spit you back 11:45. It's going to spit you back something very close to the time it is because it's not one of the featured attractions that people jump for. So if you're putting that in, you need to know it's not going to give you, if I put in that I don't want to ride Living with the Land until after 4, it's not going to give me the time until closer to 4 o'clock, because while it's searching, it's, Disney is offering it 11, 11:30, 11:15, 11. So they have to wait till further in the day, but you can get other ones in the meantime. That was the one thing I had to realize. And I had to not be afraid to cancel ones, even the hard to get ones, even Slinky Dog. I canceled Frozen Ever After because it gave me 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I didn't want it at 1 o'clock. I canceled it and it got me 5:15, which was exactly when I wanted it. So you just have to trust it, that it's working in the background. It's constantly refreshing and it's looking for the one you want. And I think its limitation is that you can't say an exact hour you want. Mm-hmm. You can do any time, which is as soon as possible. You could do morning, which is between park opening and noon. You can do afternoon, which is between noon and 4 p.m. And you can do evening, which is 4 p.m. to park close. The as soon as possibles are good if you're like right in the middle of Fantasyland, for example, and you're like, okay, well, I'm in Fantasyland. Let me put in all the Fantasyland attractions and see what I can get as soon as possible. But you really want to get your big attractions. You want to try to get them first if you can. But like I said, I got Frozen much later in the day. So even much later in the day, you still might get those featured attractions because people are canceling them. People's plans change. And that's what you need to bank on, is that people's plans are going to change.
Well, just like fast passes.
Just like it was with fast passes.
Right. You just smash that. Well, this sounds like this keeps you off your phone a lot.
It does. It sends you a notification. Hey, we found your Frozen that you wanted. And then you can go in and put in another one.
Right. So
you have to keep in mind, and it tells you when you're going to be eligible again for your next, it searches and there's a thing on there that says you're eligible in 47 minutes. So that's when, we're going to look. If your eligibility looms on tapping into the next one, it will start looking as soon as you tap. I was able to get a fast pass. I didn't want to ride Tower of Terror, but because my mother and my sister were with me, but I wanted to see if I could get it. And yeah, I got a fast pass for every ride in Hollywood Studios between 2 p.m. and by the time I walked into Fantasmic at 7, I had achieved getting a fast pass for every ride. I rode everything except for Alien Swirling Saucers because I didn't want to, and Tower of Terror because of the people I was with. But I did get I did get return times for them because I just was playing with Stand by Skipper to see what it was capable of. And it was capable of getting me every single ride in 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's worth it. It was $45 for up to 7 days for up to 12 people. And then the next day we got Remy, we got Frozen, we got Living with the Land, we got Soarin'. I was able to get Test Track. I didn't want to ride it, so I just canceled it. And that was it. When I was testing its limits. So if I got something that I didn't want to really ride Tower and I really didn't want to ride Test Track, but I just wanted to see if I could get them, I would just cancel them. Just, so somebody else could have them. Mm-hmm. But but I was able to get them because I wanted to see. Well, can I get it? I got Spaceship Earth because my sister had never ridden Spaceship Earth before, Dave.
Interesting.
Her boyfriend had convinced her that it was a scary ride, like Space Mountain.
Oh,
and
no.
and I was like,
No,
Dame
completely
Judi
opposite.
Dench hosts it. Judi Dench is not like, hold on. So, yeah. But yeah, she rode that. She rode Guardians. She rode Slinky Dog with me. So
I guess this was a ride heavy trip then.
it was because I was kind of showing my sister a good time. So it was more than what I do with you guys. And that's what I think it's good for. I think it's good for families taking their big yearly trip, that they want to ride everything because it's their big yearly trip. And it's good for us locals when we're bringing somebody that we want to impress. And that is exactly what it did. Because my sister was like, oh my God, you got us on everything. And I'm like, it wasn't me. It was the skipper.
It was Standby Skipper.
It was a skipper. It got me every single ride in Hollywood Studios and Epcot that has, lightning lane capability. So
yeah, that's worth $45 all day long.
Yeah, for up to 12 people. So
for
the
7
one
days.
thing, the one thing you have to know is you send out invitation. So Standby Skipper, I signed up and I made it my friend. So by making it my friend, it was able to see all my friends. And it said, who do you want to invite? Who do you want to include in your planning for this trip? And I actually sent an invitation to you and Veronica and to Mandy and her kids, because I know I want to use it again in June when Mandy comes. So I sent her an invitation, but you all didn't reply to my invitation, and it couldn't start planning for me until everybody accepted the invitation to be my friend. So what I had to be there to be Standby Skipper's friend. So I had to actually redact my invitation to you and the Malinowskis because I needed to plan for my sister and my mom. So that is one thing to know. For Standby Skipper to work, everybody in your group has to accept Standby Skipper as a friend.
Good to know. Yeah, I didn't know that was there. I don't go on it like you do every 2 seconds.
Yeah. So, well, you're not invited anymore. Maybe next time.
About my luck, I guess.
Maybe next time.
Next time. So I should start looking at my Disney.
You're my Disney experience. Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, that was great. It was really great.
So let me ask you a question. So is your mom a crusher or is she a rope dropper?
No, she's a crusher. She maybe when we were younger, she would have been a rope dropper, but now
So then it worked perfectly into
she's slow going in the morning.
Okay.
It takes her a while in the morning.
Good.
So what we did on Mother's Day is we decided we were going to go to Disney Springs and get brunch. So we went to Raglan Road. We had 10 o'clock brunch at Raglan Road. So we didn't get to Epcot until like 12:30. And we had a Remy return time at 12:45. The same thing happened with Remy. The Remy, 7 o'clock that morning, they spit me back a 9 something, and I knew we were going to go to Raglan Road. So I said, nope, I don't want it. Give me something later. And it did. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you just have to go into my Disney experience and cancel and then ask for it again. And or Raglan Road for lunch for Mother's Day. I was surprised there was no entertainment.
Well, it's a good thing because if you acted up a little bit, you might have had some negative reviews.
Well, I wasn't wearing a Disney Crush shirt, so that's good.
That's a good thing.
But they were giving complimentary mimosas.
Oh, nice.
And my mom had this big stack of pancakes.
I saw the picture.
Yeah, I had a burger without a bun. And that was I'm trying to stick on my keto while I'm at Disney. So the night before we ate at Mama Melrose because we wanted the Fantasmic package. And I had looked at the other menus. Your choices for Fantasmic package are 50s Primetime, which I have vowed that I'm probably never eating there again. Sorry to all the people that like it. Sci-Fi, which is not ideal for talking to your table mates because you're facing a screen.
Away from them, yes.
Yeah. And Hollywood Brown Derby. And my mother, I've taken her to Brown Derby. She's liked it, but I just don't think she would have appreciated it. So, and it was like $77 for the Fantasmic package there. And she likes Italian, but she wound up getting a steak instead. So it didn't matter.
Oh.
But yeah, so we had dinner at Mama Melrose, and that was interesting because I told the server that I was trying to be low carb. And so I got the salad without the croutons, and I got the steak without the macaroni and cheese. I got what was basically steamed broccoli. No, that was at Raglan. I got a vegetable medley at Mama Melrose. That wasn't bad. The vegetables were fresh there. The steak was tough. The steak was really tough. It was supposed to be a New York strip. It said it was a New York strip. I think it was like, at Winn-Dixie, they sell inspected. There's like prime and choice. And then at Winn-Dixie, they have, we have New York strip steaks on sale for $4.99 a pound. And then you look and it's not prime. It's not choice. It's inspected. And I think that's what this steak is. I think the steak was inspected. It wasn't. It wasn't a quality steak because it was a New York strip, but it was the shape of a New York strip. That's what we had. And, but we had the Fantasmic package, which my sister was very impressed by because she got the pork shank, and I think her meal came out to $54. Like when she added up what she ate, it was $54, and she didn't get a soft drink. You can. A soft drink is included. She chose not to, but the package is $56. So if she had gotten the soft drink, she would have come out ahead, and you get the Fantasmic seating. So she was impressed by that. And Fantasmic was wonderful, Dave. You should have been there. I cried.
Okay.
I cheered for Mickey, and I was waving as a steamboat went by. I was waving at all the characters, and they were waving back, Dave.
Of course they were. Right at you. Oh, yeah.
And they had their little flags. Yeah, I was really excited.
I could just imagine. Yeah. Did you get some good seats?
Oh, we had great seats with the Fantasmic package. Yeah, we had great seats. So, yeah, it was wonderful. It was a good day. But my sister really liked Slinky Dog and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Rise.
Oh, of course. Those are three stellar rides.
Yeah, she felt Millennium Falcon was just too jerky, and it was her and my mom as pilots.
Okay, well, I love your sister. She's right along with what I say.
Yeah. I felt like I had to bring her on it so she could see the Millennium Falcon and get the obligatory picture in front of the chessboard. But I don't think she'd ride it again.
Did you try for the Chewy?
No, because there were only three of us, and we didn't even get it. We didn't even get.
Oh, you didn't have a full.
We didn't have a full car. It was just the three of us.
Yeah,
they were the pilots, and I was a gunner. And we did ride Star Tours with the new scenes with the.
Oh, I love Star Tours. Me and Veronica love that ride.
Yeah, we did Muppet Vision. We did Frozen Ever After. Frozen sing along.
Cool.
We pretty much did everything except for Indiana Jones and Beauty and the Beast show.
Well, you didn't miss anything.
No, Rock and Roller Coaster was still down for refurb. And so that was really good.
Well, what's your mom's favorite park and ride? I'm curious.
My mom's favorite park, I think it's Soarin'. I think my mom likes Soarin' the best.
And her favorite park is?
I think it's Epcot. She likes the flowers. We go for a lot for the flower garden, so she really likes the flowers. But it's a lot of walking for her. And so that's why when we got the Frozen at 1:00, I didn't take it because we were at Remy. We had Remy for $12.45. And for her to have to go walk all the way from France to Norway would have been a lot. So I dumped it and I asked, get me one closer to dinner time because we were having dinner in China. And it got me one right around the time that we would be getting out of dinner. So that was perfect.
I don't want to get too personal, but can I ask you a question? How disappointed was she that I wasn't able to come over and join you guys?
Oh, she was. She asked for you. How's Dave and Veronica?
Okay.
She likes you better than she likes any of her own children.
Well,
yes.
I just never got a call or anything from her. Did she get to flirt with anyone this time? I promise not to get jealous, but did she flirt with anybody?
No, there were no there. Oh no, actually, no, there were no bakers. There were no bakers. She tried to make conversation with the guard at Saratoga Springs. He was Tony from Brooklyn, which she's from Brooklyn. Tony, you know, her husband was named Tony, her daughter's named Tony, and 2 of her dogs have been named Tony. Let's not, you know, work on my personal psychological, my personal deep-seated psychological issues with that. But anyway, the guard's name was Tony from Brooklyn, and she's from Brooklyn. And so she leaned over and she's like, "Where are you? What part of Brooklyn are you from?" And he just like ignored her.
Really?
And yeah, and because he was looking for my name, and it wasn't showing up in the little iPad he had with the names. And I said, "My mom asked you what part of Brooklyn you're from." And he's like, "Oh, Williamsburg." And she's like, "Oh, I'm from," and he didn't care. He didn't care where she was from. He was just not personable. So when I got to the gate, when I checked in, he couldn't find my name. And I said, "Well, what about Sayano? That's my mother's last name." And he goes, "Oh yeah, Sayano." He goes, "And here's your name now." It was next to the Sayano. So it was very weird. And then when my sister tried to check her bags, they said there was no Zarcone. And then they tried to tell her my name isn't Zarcone, it's Zaccone, Zaccone. And she's like, "No, I assure you it's not." Like, no, it's not. But anyway. Anyway, that's about it.
Now, at any time did you, I know you guys have kind of a routine, but your sister was there this time. So did you step out of your comfort zone at all?
Well, there was the whole thing about that we didn't get the duck because I could not eat the duck.
Oh, and how was she? Because I know that's
on
her
my
favorite.
Current diet. Well, that was the thing, was my sister was worried about me eating at Nine Dragons, and I assured her, "I don't care. I'll find something. I'll tell them to steam me, whatever. I can ask for no sauce." And she was worried about that. But we went to Nine Dragons for dinner, and my mother got the duck fried rice, which is not the same, not on par with Morimoto's duck at all, but she liked it. And I asked for the spicy mala happy family. A happy family, if you don't know, in Chinese food, is usually all the different meats. So this one had chicken, beef, and shrimp, but in a spicy sauce. But I asked for sauce on the side. And she said, "Well, do you want it steamed or stir fried?" And I wanted it stir fried. And she said, "Okay, we'll stir fry it with salt and pepper. Would that be all right?" And I was like, "That's perfect." And that's what they did. And it was delicious. It was delicious. So yeah, and the vegetables were nice. The meat was great. So they did bring the sauce on the side. I didn't need it, but I kind of stuck a pinky in it to taste it. And it was sweet. So I was like, no, I'm glad I got it on the side. And they also brought the rice because they don't listen. But I just didn't eat the rice. I was just a good girl. But my sister got the same thing, but she got it with the sauce. She really liked it. So that's how we modified, because we couldn't do the Morimoto this year because I'm trying to be good.
Well, I'm not, you've been doing, you did good. Yeah. Well, you just adapt. You just adapt. That's all.
But yeah. So that was it. That was all our dining. We ate at Raglan Road. We ate at Nine Dragons. We ate at Mama Melrose on the night before. Oh, and then we had breakfast at the Grand Floridian Cafe. I really wanted French onion soup without the bread, but my server Kyle told me that it's all assembled already.
Oh, okay.
So it's all assembled, so you couldn't get it without the bread. So I didn't get it, and I got a Cobb salad instead, and the Cobb salad was so good.
Oh,
that was my breakfast on Monday morning, with a Cobb salad. It was really good. My mom got her Mickey waffle because that's all she wanted. She got her Mickey waffle with bacon, and my sister got the Florida Benedict, which was like on a corn cake, and it had pulled pork and a perfectly poached egg. She enjoyed it, but yeah, I don't know. That was our dining. Saratoga was lovely. I walked the grounds multiple times because I wanted to keep my twice a day, 45-minute exercise. I went on Mother's Day morning. I got up extra early so I could get my get my workout in, and I intended to go to the fitness center at Saratoga Springs. There is a fitness center. I went in the building that said fitness center, and I couldn't find it. So I wound up just taking a walk instead. But I know it's like one of the biggest fitness centers on property. I couldn't find it. I'm sure Scott and Karen are yelling at me right now.
Well, yeah, that's our home resort, right?
I mean, it's where the Senses Spa used to be. And there's I know the building because I used to go to the spa all the time. And it says, must use your magic band for admittance. And so I touched my magic band. I got in the building. I walked around the building. I couldn't find the dang fitness center. I found the bathrooms. I went down a flight of stairs. I don't know. Couldn't find it. So I wound up just walking the grounds. But, I had to do 45 minutes twice a day. And I had to do it Saturday night because I worked out on Saturday morning before I left. And I had to do it twice on Sunday. So I wound up just walking the grounds. And I have to tell you, Saratoga seems so big when you look at it. But I walked Congress. We were in the carousel section, which is kind of the section that people say they don't want to be in, but it was fine because it's far. But it really isn't that far. It was right across the street from the Paddock, Springs, Grandstand, Congress Park. I walked it and I had to do it I had to do it a bunch of times to get 45 minutes.
Wow, that's interesting because I have never stayed there, but I've taken people to the resort to drop them off, and it seems really big. Yeah. Yeah,
but I was I was at the carousel and I was able to walk to the carriage house, which is the main building, in 5 minutes. So I don't know. I didn't think it was that. Maybe I'm just a fast walker now.
Well, you've been walking for a long time, so yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I really like Saratoga Springs, and I never thought I'd say that but now I've stayed there 3 times in the last 4 trips, and I really like it. I really like it. Go. So I want to tell you something else. The buses were excellent this weekend, and I've been saying that pretty much my last, I don't know how many trips. Oh, we really lucked out with the buses. Oh, the buses we really lucked out with the buses. And I'm beginning to think that it's not as much luck as it is. Maybe they've really improved the buses. Do you think that? I know you don't do the buses often.
I don't know because I don't ever, I avoid them at all costs. So I could not.
I'd like to hear from our listeners if they think it's that the buses are better now, because I rarely get one of these experiences where I have to wait 20 minutes for a bus like I used to get. The only time I really waited a long time for a bus was on Princess when me and Sam were trying to get to one of the monorail resorts so we could hop from Disney Springs to Magic Kingdom. And we waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. And a Saratoga bus pulled up, which was where we were sleeping. And she's like, "Do you want to just go back?" And I was like, "Yeah." And that was the end of my 4-park challenge because I had been up since 2 a.m. for the 5K. So yeah, that was the only time. That was the only time in the last year that I think I've waited a long time for a bus. The Pascagoula River is low, so the boats weren't running, which was kind of a bummer because that's one of the reasons I stayed there with my mom, because I know she likes Disney Springs. I thought, she'd enjoy the boat ride to Disney Springs, but we haven't gotten enough rain, Dave.
I know. It's been really dry here in Florida.
I'm worried about fires.
We've had a little bit of rain in the last couple of days, but not enough.
Not enough, no.
Yeah, it's one of those years.
Yeah. And I'm staying at Port Orleans Riverside in 3 weeks, and I don't think the boats are going to be running by then. Not
if we don't get any rain. And I'm dying because you know me, I like fires. I make fires in the summertime.
Yeah.
And I can't make fires right now.
So just know that if you're coming in the next few weeks, that you might not be getting on a boat to on the Pascagoula. That's the other boats are running, but not those, not to Disney Springs anyway.
Well, it sounds like another successful Mother's Day trip.
Yeah, we had a great time. We really did. We had a great time. And so on Monday when we were leaving, we were going to breakfast at Grand Floridian. We all got in the car. We packed the car up. My sister put her bag in the back of the car, and my mom has a handicap placard, so we valeted at Grand Floridian. If you don't know, if you have a handicap placard, valet is complimentary at the deluxe resorts. So we at all the resorts, because we do at Grand Sistino Tower too. But so we valeted, and when it was time to leave, they brought the car back, and I got my sister's suitcase out of the trunk, and she was going to call her Uber to the airport from there. And so we kind of hung around a little bit, waiting for her Uber, and her Uber was like 3 minutes away. She was worried about getting an Uber, and I was like, no, it's going to be no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the Uber, I think, was probably in the parking lot because he was like 3 minutes away. So that was perfect. I hope she enjoyed herself. I hope because I want her to come back. Maybe not when it's so hot. I keep saying, you guys need to come around my birthday. That would be better.
Exactly.
But,
when it's nice and cool. You need to change this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why all these people come down when it's hot.
I don't know. No, I like it when it's nice out.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and cool.
So my next trip is in 3 weeks, Dave.
Okay.
With Mandy.
Okay.
It's gonna be a mommy trip. Mommy and the kids.
Okay.
Me and Michael and Mandy and her kids. And we're at Riverside. And we've got a lot of dining that I've never done planned.
Well, good. That's good. That's a good thing because we get to talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
New experiences is always a good thing. Mm-hmm. All right, Tony Ann. Well, anything else?
No, that's it, Dave. I think we talked about it. But Standby Skipper, it paid for itself in the first day, because every ride at Hollywood I had booked in a 4-hour window. So it would, yeah. And like I said, if you use it and it gives you a time you don't like, don't be afraid to cancel it and just ask for a different time. Ask it to search again, because it does it. It just, there was no ride we couldn't get, Dave. There was no ride we couldn't get. And our friend Joy Cook, she said the same thing. She park hopped and she got Frozen. Like, it was like late in the day. There were no more Frozen Fast Passes left. And she put it in there and it spit her back a Frozen time. It spit her back a Test Track time. It spit her back a Slinky Dog time. So, and it's really good. But I'm waiting for Disney to put the kibosh on it.
Yeah. Well, thank you to Danielle for bringing this to our attention. And
yeah. Well, I had known about it for a while. I was trying to get Jeff Kessler to do a review of it for me, but that fell through. So, but thank you, Danielle, for telling us more about it. Definitely.
Yeah. And now that you tried it, get it while it lasts, because this may not last long.
I don't know what Disney's going to do, but I did want to mention the DAS pass. For this trip in June, I did do the phone call, the chat. You go on the chat and you chat with a cast member, and then they want to see the person, and so they come on a FaceTime style thing, and it took me like 23 minutes total to do the call. I called and I was done with the call in like 23 minutes. I had made my selections, because you do the pre-selections. So it was very fast. So I just want people not to be discouraged about the changes in the DAS. It went just fine for me with Mike.
Good. So. Good to know. All right, Tony Ann. Well, thanks for that trip report. That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad you got to see your sister. And
I'm really glad I got to see my sister.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess that's it, huh?
All right. Sounds good, Dave.
This week's show. All right. Well, I guess that's going to do it for this week's show. Follow us on Instagram at _Disney Crush, on Facebook at thedisneycrush.com. Friends of the Disney Crush is our Facebook group. Yeah, come join us. Love to have you. So I guess until next week, that's going to do it. So, Tony Ann, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.